Greens, everyone. Core here, and I just spent the last 5 hours in a movie theater watching two movies because they just so happened to come out at the exact same time. And first movie that I'll be reviewing will be Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. And most of the reason I'm choosing that one first is because that's actually the second one I saw first, and I feel like Dunkirk, the other movie I watched, needs its own video because that one was really good. But as far as Valorant, it's a really good movie. Ever since the first trailer dropped with the Beatles, because song playing with it, which is pretty impressive because the Beatles usually don't lend out their music very often. They have to get direct approval from the the living ones left over. So it's pretty. It's I think it shows that they had a lot of faith in this movie, and it shows really really well. The only thing is I am a little disappointed because I did not watch it in 3D, which I really wanted to. It wasn't even showing in Dolby Atmos around me at least, so I didn't even get to watch it in that venue either. So I just saw it regular, just a standard AMC movie theater. Of course, reclining seats, which are always nice. But yeah. So excuse me. Um, so, anyways, yeah. So it's pretty much the story of Valorant and his partner Laura Lean, I believe it was. It could be a little off. They are French names, so I'm not too familiar with the source material actually, because it is a fairly old graphic novel. It wasn't as popular when it first came out, and then it kind of got in its cult following over time, and it's actually really impressive. It's cool because one of the nice things about this movie is that it's directed by the director of Fifth Element, as well as Lucy and a couple other movies. But most likely you'll remember him from the Fifth Element because Fifth Element is a really impressive, really cool movie, and I think he's perfect for this genre, for this source material to say, because the Fifth Element was really cool, really nice. It has this blend, but it's mostly just humans. Where this one has, you know, technically over 1,000 species living in one place, and it's really cool. I actually found out that the way that they designed some of the characters was they got different artists from Tumblr, nonetheless, and just assigned them. Here's a race. You know, here's what we kind of want them to look like. Go nuts, make something unique, make something that's completely different, and it really shows. I mean, the species that they made were really cool, really creative. There's so much backstory behind them that you don't really get too much in. It mostly focuses on a couple races, which one is part of the main story, which you've seen in the trailers. They're the tall, slender, pale skin kind of looking aliens with like a pearly skin kind of color to them, which they do call them pearls. So it's really cool. Um, but yeah, so they mostly follows them, and then also Valorant, which is I just remember him from uh, I I believe it's Amazing Spider-Man. He's Harry Osborn, if I remember him correctly. I sometimes have bad memories, but that's what I remember him from the most. It's funny, but yeah, and then the Laureline, I can't think where I've seen her before, but I know I have, but yeah. So they're the two main leads. Are it's like almost like a buddy picture, but of course they're kind of in a relationship, but not in a relationship, but because it's a working professional relationship, but then also it's not. So that's one of the side stories going on through the whole movie, which is really good. It adds some lightheartedness, some laughter, here and there, the quips and everything they give each other when they're saving each other's butts. But yeah, it's really, man, it is such a pretty movie. It's really impressive. I do want to see this in 3D. I'll probably see it maybe in a week or two, hopefully in 3D, just to see the depth that it has, because just watching it, regular standard, you do get a sense of depth, and that's pretty impressive considering it's just flat. So I do like that. Definitely gonna check it out in 3D. So I may do a quick little review. If not, I'll throw, Twitter a tweet or two out there about it. But yeah, so that's that. The music was really cool. It does have Rihanna in here as well, which I gotta say she has improved from previous roles that she has taken in movies. She's not as flat, I guess you could say. Um, she's definitely showing more emotion. She's actually showing effort. I think she had fun in this movie, and there's a really cool scene. Of course, you've probably seen she does like a kind of like a burlesque dance where she changes outfits, and it's really cool. There's a couple of little Easter eggs here and there from some of the alien species, which one of them is interesting because I don't know if they could really license it, but then again, the license is for a cartoon, not an actual person, and this one's an actual person, but you'll see it if you have a watchful eye, and if you've ever seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you will spot her out really quick. It's about halfway in, just to let you know. There is no end credits, which there is a setup during the movie, fairly early on, that you could see that there's definitely a possibility for a sequel, which I do hope actually, because these characters are really fun to watch, and I can't really. I mean, the ending was really good. I thought it was gonna go one way, but actually didn't quite go that way. But in the end, it pretty much went the way I thought. What else? What else? What else? The spaceships are cool. Just everything coming together. It's the technologies and everything is so different. The races and everything is so different, but they all have their place in this um, colony, which they call Alpha, which is pretty much a city of 1,000 planets. And the whole timeline of how it developed is really cool, which you get that right off the bat. And there's there's literally a timeline. They tell you how long everything takes, and I think that's pretty impressive. Which is really cool thinking about. Just if that really happens, that would be. I would want to go if you know I'm still around, of course. But yeah, so that's that for the first movie. Stick around if you're interested for my second review. But until then, later.